Let's now talk about dividing integers, and we'll do so by starting with something we already know. What is 10 divided by 5? Well, we know 10 divided by 5 is 2. Why? Because 2 times 5 is 10. Now, what is my point? My point is we can find out about sign rules for division simply because we know sign rules for multiplication. So, let's try, say, negative 10 divided by 5. What will that be? Keep in mind how we check division. We check division by multiplying. What number times positive 5 will give us a result of negative 10? That number is negative 2. Negative 2 times positive 5 is negative 10. So I know negative 10 divided by 5 is negative 2. What about 10 divided by negative 5? What is the result of that division? Think of multiplication for a moment. What number times negative 5 is positive 10? Well, that is negative 2, because we know a negative times a negative gives a positive result, and of course 2 times 5 is 10. Let's see what else we need to look at. What about negative 10 divided by negative 5? And then we'll summarize this. What number times negative 5 gives negative 10? That will be positive 2, or simply 2, because a positive number times a negative number gives a negative result. So, negative 10 divided by negative 5 is positive 2. Study these a moment and see if you can't come up with some rules, sign rules for division. It looks like a positive divided by a positive is positive, and a negative divided by negative is positive. And then if either one is negative, looks like the result is negative. Let's look at our sign rules for division. The quotient of two numbers having the same sign is a positive number. And here we show it. Positive divided by positive is a positive result, and a negative divided by a negative is a positive result or quotient. Then the quotient of two numbers having different signs is a negative number. And here we have quotient of different signs. Positive divided by negative gives a negative result. Negative divided by positive gives a negative result. Let's make sure we're okay with this by dividing some integers. What is negative 30 divided by 6? Well, what is 30 divided by 6? That is 5. And then what is a negative divided by a positive? That quotient is negative. And you can also check by multiplying. What about, say, negative 12 divided by negative 4? Well, a negative divided by a negative gives a positive quotient. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So the result is positive 3, or simply 3. Again, as usual, you can check division by multiplying. And then let's look at those two special cases that have to do with 0. Let's start with, say, 0 divided by negative 15. And then we'll look at, say, negative 10 divided by 0. Let's start with this one first. Now, if you have trouble remembering what number times negative 15 gives a result of 0, well, the only number for that to be true is 0. 0 times negative 15 is 0. So when 0 is in the numerator and there is any number except 0 in the denominator, including negative integers, the result is 0. You can go through this with this example. Notice this time I have 0 in the denominator, and when 0 is in the denominator, it is still undefined because there is no number that when multiplied by 0 gives a result of -10. So just as for whole numbers, a non-zero number divided by 0, we say, is undefined. Just as for whole numbers, here we are with integers.